Hello everyone, this video will cover Module 6. Module 6 is the third short story assignment and we will be focusing on energy. Again, you can do these assignments in any order, so all the modules will be open up kind of roughly at the same time, and you'll be able to kind of pick which one you want to work on. However, the energy story is a little bit more difficult than the other two, and so I often encourage students to start with that point of view story for that reason. The energy story is going to be, for most of you, the most challenging, and that's because we're dealing with something that you may not have tried to do before, which is really focus on showing versus telling. One of the marks of poor creative writing, particularly in fiction, is where an author will sit down and tell you what happens as opposed to show you. And the same thing goes with character traits. So they'll tell you that a character is anxious rather than showing that the character is anxious because, they're constantly biting their nails or something. So there's a lot that goes on with it, and it's a difficult concept sometimes for students to kind of wrap their heads around. So I have this PowerPoint video for you, and this is the one that I've used in my face-to-face classes, and it's just a video of me explaining it. So I've got that, and I also have a link to a website PDF, which is a really great resource on that as well. Our textbook talks about it a little bit. I'm not sure that it really calls it showing versus telling, but it's the same concept. And then the same thing with about creating energy, and that's the principle of energy is that you are creating that interest in the reader wants to finish what they're reading because there's so much tension. So some students end up for this story picking a topic that is probably more of like a creepy, it might have a mystery or horror factor to it, and that's fine. You might also create tension through emotion, and so we have different very strong emotions that people just experience differently. And so whether it's fear or joy, we all feel it differently, and so that can be something that you might work into the story to create tension, is really just focusing on how's that character reacting. We're reacting to things, right? So these are just some ideas with energy, principles of energy, and how to put it in your stories and how to really create it so that we keep moving forward, and some things to really avoid as well. And that is kind of the main premise of the story that you're writing. So pretty much the only requirement for this one, besides making sure that you're doing the showing versus telling, is an unexpected twist at the end, which is why some students do more of a mystery type of story. It doesn't need to be like a bad ending for your character, although you're welcome to kill your character off. The main thing is just like having something really unexpected happen at the end. We're building up to, and the audience kind of has this sense of they know where it's going, and then we just want to turn that around a little bit and have it be unexpected. So we're a little bit of irony as well, some dramatic irony, and use of just those different things that you may have looked at in literature. We have a lot of great short stories out there that are good examples of this. This is an unexpected thing that happens at the end. We don't know what's going to happen. And then the story just has an ending that you didn't anticipate. So your story is going to be mainly focusing on that ending, believable plot line again. You have a lot of options for a really open-ended plot line as well as characters. As long as you have the beginning, middle, and end, you have the tension, suspense, and the twist at the end. And then use of, dialogue, consistent point of view, that kind of thing. That's what you're going to be looking for. That's the basic criteria. Again, you'll have a spot to submit the story, and then you'll have the quiz that you'll take in order to grade your own story. As with all of these stories, if you go in, you take the self-assessment quiz, you realize you did not do something in your story that was part of the criteria, so you have to mark false, then you can, if you want to, you can go back and redo the short story. You can rewrite it, submit it again, then go back in and take the self-assessment quiz again and mark yourself true for that and get your point back. So it's really kind of on you to be scoring your work correctly. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Otherwise, have a great week.